This is to the sheikhs out there that advise women, especially, to stay in relationships when their partner have crossed lines that even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said are active sins. Now, my DMs and my client list is absolutely full of women going through particular type of situations, some of them more extreme than others, and majority of the time when they go to the sheikh to get advice about what they want to do with their khulla, they get told, go and try in your marriage again. Now, from my understanding, I didn't realize that sheikhs have to treat people like children. I thought that there was Islamic rulings and guidance and etiquette. You give that guidance and rulings to the adult, and then it is the adult's choice what they then decide to do with their lives. We must treat individuals as autonomous adults that they are. It's not for a sheikh to say to a man or a woman to remain in a marriage when they have actively decided that it is not an unhappy place for them. I'm not talking about situations where it's frivolous arguments and there's something that the sheikh can mediate between you two and you can figure it out. I'm talking about zina. I'm talking about addictions. I'm talking about bringing random women home and saying, well, this is my other wife now, so either stay or leave, I don't care. These kind of attitudes and these kind of feelings we have floating around as women in our Muslim community makes us fearful to approach majority of sheikhs with our problems, because we're like, you know what, even though I told my sheikh my husband has been regularly cheating on me, he doesn't come home at nights, or he's addicted to alcohol and drugs, or he got another woman pregnant, or he beats me, a lot of these sheikhs say to the women to stay and see it through. How dare you tell an individual to put up with oppression, violence, and all these kind of things, and say that you're doing it for the right reasons for our society? If anything, by telling women to stay with men like this that behave in such extreme circumstances, and there are some men as well that have dealt with some women that have been very extreme, by telling people to stay in these relationships and not providing them with the full knowledge and freedom to choose within the Islamic rulings that and guidance that has been given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you basically don't even realize how you perpetuate this behavior in society. Because a cheating man, for example, which is unfortunately majority of the cases in our Pakistani community and in my client list, you make them feel that what they're doing is acceptable. You allow them to use the hadith of I can have multiple wives as a weapon against their woman. Because are they going to the religious leader to get advice, and the religious leader is saying stay at home, try and make it work? Now, it is in a woman's base nature to try and make her relationship work. Majority of us. So if a woman or a man are coming to you with reasons for talaq that are sins in the eyes of Allah, I don't believe you should be advising these people to stay in these marriages, because you're perpetuating this cycle of neglect and abuse in infidelity, because no one sees any big consequences. And as far as I've done my research into the seerah, which I'm continuing to do so, and stories about our Nabi and his sahabiyat, divorce was actually a very simple and easy process. No one was stigmatized with it. Once your reasons were discussed and they were legitimate, you were allowed, you were just set free to carry on with your life, not imprisoned inside a ridiculous marriage, when all of us as individuals have the right to live in respect and harmony. By allowing certain people to get away with some extreme behaviors, you are now arming them. Like, for example, I've had a client in the past whose husband turned around and said, yeah, I've been sleeping with this woman for the last year, but now you two can be co-wives because it's halal for me. I'm sorry, is there going to be no consequences or no discussion about how he got to that point? That whole year of zina? Like, he hasn't had to pay for that level of disgusting behavior? No, it said it's halal. But no one wants to finish that sentence where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, but having one is better. You want to we wipe that bit away and we allow people to behave in certain ways that we then justify by not getting people out of oppressive situations as fast as possible. And I personally believe it's the Sheikhs' responsibilities not to stick their nose into everybody's family affairs, but to simply give you the guidelines that are in the Quran and Hadith. The rest is up to those individuals. Sheikhs are not marriage counselors. And the ones that just give you the information and allow you to make that decision, in my opinion, they have more of an understanding on how this world and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala works, because we all carry our own decisions, the weight of them. So even if the decision you made was incorrect and wrong, you were given the right information in the first place. So the responsibility lies on the person making the decision, not on the sheikh. The sheikh give us the information that we asked for, which is plain and simple in regards to what the person has told you what's going on in their marriage. But if zina, drugs, alcohol, all these things are so haram, why is it then acceptable when it's happening in marriages and the other spouse is supposed to then put up with this long term, when they have been shown that there will be no change in the future? We should be treated like adults. Give us the information and allow us to make decisions for ourselves, rather than imprisoning people in extremely unhealthy marriages.